And hello, everybody. I have an exciting guest with me, a returning guest, actually, Mr. Colton Havens. And I'm so excited to bring Colton Havens onto this episode of Strategic Possibilities, more specifically, part of the Digital Art Renaissance series, because Colton has a tremendous amount of experience. He's growing brands and growing a digital media business. He's an expert on YouTube and marketing in that area. And I'm excited to bring him on because from the business side of things, there's often a big gap between, that business and that marketing side of things and, making income and, getting your name out there, and the gap with just being the creator, being a creative, and, just having that desire to put your stuff out there. So I'm so glad to have Colton on to be able to share some of his tips, his tricks, his strategies, maybe even some of your secrets, Colton. So with that, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, dude. I'm doing great. Today's been a good day. I was on some calls earlier today, gotten some more things mapped out for some of our current clients that we're working with. Had some great conversations with my business partner that kind of reamped us all up. Actually, the whole reason we're on this call today was off of a Facebook post I posted a little further, a couple days back, where I was talking about how if you make 365 videos in a year about one product, you won't ever have to work 40 hours again for somebody else. And we're actually going to make that into a free course today. So I'm going to actually show you exactly how people do that. And we're going to give it out away for free. And that's some knowledge I spent probably, $2,600 plus on to learn. So we're going to amp that up. I'm going to make that today. So after the call and whatnot. So that's going to be cool.
All right. Well, hey, y'all heard it here that this is some extraordinary insight. And what I love about that idea is the idea that, you mentioned on that post, and which just like blew my mind. It sounds like something so simple, yet, this whole concept that not everyone is going to do it. Like
Nope.
it's not so much that I'll call it success is out of your reach. It's that, the idea of putting 365 videos for a product or whatever it is, that's doable. It's just most people won't. So can you share a little bit about that? Can you go into a little bit more detail about, what you're working on in that area?
Yeah. So I get paid a lot of money, from business owners to like scale their YouTube and, just do marketing for them to get them more leads and sales. Right. And the cool thing is anybody can do that. Anybody can actually do it, and it's free to do. People just pay me to do it. They can do it themselves, but a lot of these business owners, like my perfect client, is just too busy to do it, right? So I just take that off their hands. But the everyday average person can be making more money in their lifetime in this next year than they ever have before if they just decided to stick with one thing for a year. Most people underestimate what they can do in 5 years and overestimate what they can do in one. If you take this as a legit business, so come at it with the mindset that you're going to earn money, and go into it with a 2-year span. Give yourself 2 years. If you don't make money in 2 years, then get out. And most people come in with the microwave mentality, and if they don't make money in one video in 1 minute, they're out. Scam. Oh, it's so hard, blah blah blah. And so you got to go more of like, give yourself the time to grow as an individual to make this even happen. Because even if it did take off, 90% of you can't even handle the type of money that's going to come into your life anyways, because you're going to blow it. It's going to be like the lottery anyways, because literally one video can change your entire life. I'm living proof of that. And the only way that's not going to happen is if you don't post. And too many people get in their heads of like, they have this is what happens in it. They go, I wonder if that idea would work. It probably wouldn't work because of whatever reason they give, and they killed the idea before they took action. You don't know if a video is going to work or business model is going to work, business idea is going to work until you actually put in the work itself and let the market tell you whether or not that's good.
Right on. And that definitely rings true because I'm reading this this book right now. It's called The YouTube Formula. I can't remember the actual author of it, but it's a big author, successful YouTuber, and he also got forward by Mr. Beast. And it says like, some of the biggest secrets is basically to, find what YouTube wants. So just what you ended with there, figuring out, like, putting stuff that, people are going to want. So, great stuff there. Now, here's a question. When you said this business specifically, what do you mean? Are you saying like just becoming a YouTube business, or do you mean like starting a business and then using YouTube as like a platform? Can you describe that a little bit? Can anybody? Mhm. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, anybody can do this. So it's really coming up with something that you think that you can do long term, that you enjoy doing, and then stick to your guns.
Right on. And so what is possible? Like, let's say somebody just wants to start a Oh, I thought you were
I'll just move this out of my way, bro.
Yeah. All right. So what is possible? So say someone's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I've got, just a part-time job and I really want to become a YouTuber. And, I'm willing to make plans for the next 365 days. Like, how would you start to guide someone like that? And let's say, because of the digital art renaissance topic here that we're doing, someone's an artist. Maybe they're a graphic artist, they're a designer, or, they're just someone who's creative and wants to make films, things like that. What's your advice there?
NFT is going to be big space for them. But without getting overcomplicated in the NFT and crypto space, let's just stick to YouTube, and let's use your art as the product that we want to sell. Okay. If you're creative, your videos are going to do really good. So in order to sell something, in order to make money, you have to have a person to buy something from you. Okay. That's basic 101. Now, how do I get that person in front of me to buy something? I have to get their attention. I need eyeballs. And that's what YouTube can do for you. Now, if you rank it the right way and you stay consistent with that, for someone that does art, it'd be really easy for you to just pull up a tripod camera, just pull up a tripod while you do your work, record it, and then put it in fast forward, and you have somebody watch you paint. And then at the end, you say, go to my link and you can buy this art for me. Done. Now you have a business that you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars on.
Yeah, it's so funny because you read a lot of these books, and so there's so much like storytelling in a lot of these books because people have to like fill the pages. But the way you describe that, I mean, I think that what you're saying is totally true. And it's like, these are the secrets, like, make the video, pull out the tripod, make the video 365 times a year. And, if you're an artist, put your content out there. I think that's absolutely amazing without all the, the extra words that people put into that you might find in books. Although, sometimes the stories help, but, I really appreciate you sharing that. So let's say, I'm an artist and, I'm making these videos and I want people to like buy my work. I mean, are there strategies? Like, what sort of strategies what sort of strategies can you use so that you have the best possibility of getting seen? Because, there's thousands of people putting out videos every single day.
So there's a few ways. So number one way is going to be rank your YouTube videos on YouTube. And that's what we specialize in. So people can find you through search engine. Because how do you solve a problem? You either go to Google or YouTube, and YouTube and Google are the same thing. So if you rank your video on YouTube, it will rank in a Google search as well. That's one of the biggest things that we show people. Now, one of the cool strategies that you can do if you're an artist, get your followers involved in the artwork. So I've seen some of these have millions of views where these people are drawing really bad stick figures, and he just draws stick figures that are in the comments. So someone's like, hey, draw a dragon. Hey, draw this, blah, blah. And he just draws that. And then there's this other artist where he's like, describe what I should draw. And this guy's like, draw an alien drinking out of a earth bowl. And so he just drew an alien out of an earth bowl. So he's taking the followers' comments and turning that into the art. So he's making them a part of the journey. Now, if you said to an artist on TikTok or on YouTube and you say, hey, draw Emmett with a microphone with explosions behind him. And he goes, okay. And he draws you on his next video. And then he says, hey, Emmett, you can actually go buy this from my website for $40. How much more likely do you think you would to go buy that painting?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's specific. It's something I asked for. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so start getting your audience involved into your drawings when you do it. So going live on your TikTok, going live on your YouTube as you draw, do workshops where you're like, hey, this is the hour of power. We're gonna go live. We're gonna be just drawing. I got music on. Throw me some ideas, and I'll throw them into the painting. And you guys can buy this from me later if you want. If not, no big deal, because you still grow your following, you grow your email list, and that's an easy way to make money right there.
Yeah, dude, this is some great brainstorming. I mean, so many people put on these Instagram like quick videos, and it's just like them making a quick sketch and like, revealing the final product. And even that, like just the other day, I got one of my posts featured from Facebook and Instagram. And, even that's like getting, quite a few thousand views. And it's something that you think is so simple, but just to add to that, you're adding this extra level of
Engagement.
yeah, exactly. The engagement, the live element of it. And right there, as you mentioned, like, knowing your audience and offering what they're asking for as a product. So that's great. And just think about artists. I mean, there's this piece of that I found with some artists. I mean, some of them are like, and I know the people that you're working for, they're business people, they're ready to go, they want to make things happen, and they're just hiring just to help them, make some better use of their time and all that. But, in helping some of the artists that are out there who are maybe just getting started, they're not sure about social media. Maybe they're like, will this work? Will YouTube, like, is YouTube a thing? Like, what do you have to say about that?
How do you solve your problems?
Are you asking me, or is that,
Yep.
how do I solve? Well, I think about them. I try to write them down. And of course, as you even mentioned earlier about Google and YouTube, like I go to Google and YouTube, try to find answers.
Yep. So if you're the one there to solve the problem, that's how you make money. Be the person that they find on YouTube. The only reason you're not making money, or so this is the biggest problem. You're not confident in yourself. You're not betting on yourself to win. If you have those thoughts, you already lost. You're never going to start. In your mind, you're a loser. That's what you think of yourself. That's why you won't do the idea, because it needs to become of I don't give up idea. It needs to be I don't care what people say. This is my idea. I want to do it because I enjoy it. I have fun, especially if you're an artist and you're creative. Most of them are broke because they don't care about money, and that's why they stay broke. Now, if they'll switch their mind and say, I want to make a lot of money doing what I love on purpose, now you have a different mindset. Now you have someone goal-driven, purpose-driven. They can get through the noise and all the BS and all the hate comments that they're going to get, because 90% of anything that comments on your stuff is all going to be hate. So you have to be ready for that. So those people that are thinking of ideas, stop and just execute on one for a year.
Yeah, I like it because you keep it so simple and straightforward. That's fantastic. And right. And I think at this point, somehow based on what you've been saying, I mean, there's probably a group of people that are like, oh, this is BS. Like if I make a 365 videos, it's not going to work. And they probably already cut out. So, for those people that are still sticking around, you got a YouTube channel, you got this growth, you got these great ideas, you've got potential live streams and engagement, and being just having fun with all of that. Like you said, stick figures. I mean, there's a big group of artists that I've met recently, and I think Tony Robbins talks about how he like started his career and he was looking to help a lot of people, and his biggest competition were like these elite like PhD doctors who were like criticizing him, saying that what he's doing isn't right or whatever, because like they're arguing about whatever is the best way to approach things. And I find that amongst artists too, like some of the artists that have been going to school for so many years, and they're like, oh, well, you're not allowed to draw the most fine art until you've mastered drawing circles. So, I think there's such a big mindset thing there that you touched on, this idea of, sometimes you just got to go for it. You got to do it. You got to take YouTube and all of that by the horns. So you gave these great examples earlier, the stick figures and drawing the dragons. I haven't seen those videos, but are those like, you said stick figures, but are they like, is it comedy? What do you think it is that really helps those channels to grow and prosper? Like, are they funny? Are they
are posting videos.
That's it.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay.
They're posting videos consistently, and they're involving their followers to engage. So they're building fans. One of the things that you kind of touched on that you didn't ask that I know is a big deal is you're going to have people that say, why would someone want to buy from me when they could buy a Picasso or something else, right?
Mhm.
You're going to have those. They think you think you're competing with everybody in the world, and you're not. Okay. Because you have the special sauce. They don't, which is you. Picasso's not you. The other artist isn't you. You get to throw your own twist and spin on it, and people follow you for you. So why do you, when you're deciding between two different things, say like a car, you got two different cars in front of you, two different dealerships. Why do you pick one car? They're exact same car. Okay, they're the exact same model. Say it's the exact same picture. I drew it and you drew it. Why do you think some people would buy from you versus buy from me?
They like the person. They like the presentation.
That's it. You're the special sauce. People
That,
buy because they like you, trust you. You're not competing with everybody else. If that was true, Gary Vee and I are in the same ballpark. But how have we made hundreds of thousands of dollars? Together, we've made millions of dollars doing this. I'm not competing with Gary Vee. I'm making my own audience. That's what the power of YouTube and social media. When you start from scratch, you are going to build this audience of people that you can share what you love to do in a touch of a button, 24/7, 365. And that takes time to build this audience that knows and trusts you. And you just so happen to do art.
right on. Okay. Yeah, dude, that is so powerful. I think the one thing, though, the one gap here, and maybe you can advise on it, is, what is, like, how do you find your thing or your niche? Because, like, or niche, however you pronounce it. Say you mentioned Pablo Picasso, but, like, how many of us really know, like, what really made Pablo Picasso successful? I mean, I've heard of him, I've seen his artwork, I think it's great. But how do we, find that thing that is going to make us be more likable to the audience?
By being yourself and being unapologetic for it.
Powerful.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the special sauce. Be 100% you. Like, if you quit trying to be someone else. That's what people are trying to do. Like, an artist, for instance, you got Picasso or whatever. They're trying to be the next Picasso. No, be the next Emmett, be the next Colton, where people go, dude, I want to be like him, or I want to be like her. Because that original thought is so thin nowadays, that originality, because he became famous, or so, I don't know much about art, but you become famous because of how original yours was. How many people get famous from copying the same art? Very few. Good what's the I think that Picasso said it or something. You may be able to fix the quote here, but it says, good artists create and great artists steal. Something along that lines, which means they model something that is already working, but they put their own twist on it. So it's okay to model and do what you see that is working out there, but you have to put you in it. You have to put a spin on it that only you can think of.
Yeah, for sure. Great example is Andy Warhol's Campbell soup cans. Campbell soup cans existed, and he's just like, let me add fun pop colors to it. So I definitely see that. All right, that's very cool. And I think at some level, like something like that, it does take time, but that's where 365 comes in. Is after 100, you're gonna start feeling and getting something that starts to click a little bit, or maybe even 10 if you're lucky.
Dude, one video. So I'm going to make a new entire business today for fitness, because I'm going on a fitness journey, a nutrition journey. I'm a ex college wrestler. I do jiu-jitsu. I ski a lot. I'm an athlete, and my body is not as good as I want it to be anymore since I work from home. So I put on a lot of weight that I don't want. And so I'm going to do an entire channel about fitness and nutrition. And literally one video can make or break your business if you've done it right. Because we're in a new time frame where one video can get you millions in front of millions of people, as long as you post it. Like if you tell your story in a good way and you're authentic, that one video can change your life. Let me show you something. So here's what I mean. TikTok is super good. YouTube is right next to it, even better for search volume and stuff. But so this video, so I posted this video a day ago. It's going to be hard to see. Okay, if I can focus that. There we go. Okay, so you can see that. So a day ago, you'll see a day. I have reached 140,000 people and have 4,600 shares in less than 24 hours. That's more people than you can fit in the LA stadium that was watching that. That's more people in one day that watched this video than were inside the stadium at LA.
For the Super Bowl. Yeah, dude, that's absolutely incredible. Like the amount of reach that you can get with these things. So let's say, I mean, you know, I think for your typical client, I mean, bigger picture, like what types of clients do you work with? Because they're not traditionally artists, right? They're mostly bigger businesses, B2B.
They're businesses that are making they're making good money that want to scale to 100,000 plus a month. So those are the ones that we work with directly, that pay us to do their marketing for them, specifically in digital assets. So selling online courses, or we do NFT projects that we've been promoting and selling, helping people do. I like the digital world because there's so much money in that versus products. By the time you by the time you make a product and sell a product, there's 17 hands in it that get their piece of the pie before I do. And it's normally pennies. So digitally, I can sell a recording just like this video. I can sell this video that we're making right now over and over and over again to people, more like an album, and I don't have to recreate it, and it's all cash up front. There's no overhead. I don't have to pay for the product. I don't have to pay for labor. I probably may have to pay for paid advertising if I want to, but if I make a TikTok video and a YouTube video that gets that kind of reach, I can sell hundreds of dollars worth of stuff for free.
Yeah. Okay. And you know, you mentioned 140,000. I mean, I met quite a few people, you know, who are still like unconfident. And even sometimes I feel that way. Like, will this video reach 150,000 people? Will this video reach, you know, am I wasting my time? So is a content like that? I mean, you're an expert. So, you know, maybe making a video that reaches 140,000 people in 24 hours is not as difficult. So, you know, is that within reach for most people?
Yes. Confidence comes with practice. How do you know that you can drive?
You just know.
Right. Where does that come from? Where does that come from? Were you as confident when you were 15?
No, definitely not.
Where'd your confidence come from?
Just years and years of driving. And, you know, yeah.
That's comes with video as well. It comes from doing. So make your first video may not take off. You may get 0 views. You may get 1 view. But the thing is you're doing it, and it has the long-term effect on you. It took me 4 years of making videos and learning and doing all this stuff to finally be in the position I am right now. But if I would have known what I know now, what I just shared with you guys 4 years ago, I would have been where I am in less than a year.
And so basically, I mean, just sharing your secrets. If you were like sitting in front of yourself a year ago, you'd be like, listen, man, just make 365 videos, 1 video every single day. That's it.
Yes.
That would be your secret. Okay.
That's the secret. Yeah, that's the simplest formula. In that time frame of you making videos, you're going to learn all of the other stuff that comes with it. But most people are just petrified by fear and what if it doesn't work, that they don't do anything. So I'd rather give you something super small to go do. Make 1 video, 365 days about 1 product, then talk to me later. Because if you do more than that, you start overcomplicating this process, and you start, all the questions that you ask me are just noise. that doesn't matter at the bottom line. The bottom line is you need to get someone in front of you that can buy a product so you can make money.
Yeah, that's awesome. And with social media and everything, I mean, there's such a big audience, and so many problems to be solved, so many challenges that people are facing, that and sometimes people just want to be entertained. I mean, if they're bored, that's a problem. That's totally a problem to solve. So this is some amazing stuff. And with the big picture stuff, I mean, you work with these really successful businesses, or growing businesses and brands and everything. Is it like tough to scale from, I don't know how much they're starting out with, like 50 to 100, or like you said up to 100K, right?
Yeah, that's like the mark they're trying to do. They're trying to do 100K plus a month.
So in that arena, you've shared some great ideas to help just an artist just starting out, someone who barely even knows how to barely is even confident in their skills, and giving them the exact strategy, just 365 videos and learning along the way. So let's say someone gets up to 100, 1,000, or however many per month. What is your strategy for that? Like, what are some of your tips, or what do you help? How do you suggest people?
So if you're actually doing the activity and you're building an audience, the next thing to do is add paid advertising to your brand, and get paid advertising behind what you're doing. That's the next step. If you're doing it organically, you want to start organically first, because what one of these bigger companies do, they have money, so they just want to spend money. And so they'll just start with ads right away. And the problem with that is ads can come in, and Google can come in and be like, we're going to change all the rules this month. And then all your stuff gets shut down. And now you no longer have revenue coming into your business. But if you start organically, you start ranking videos organically, start getting organic views like I am here. And then I add fuel onto that, which is paid advertising. So now I'm going to amp this up and we grow it bigger like this. If my paid advertising gets shut off, my organic still grows, and I still get leads from my organic while I'm figuring this out for the 30 days it takes to figure it out. And then I can add paid advertising back in. So I have these two snowballs growing together, versus like most businesses that have money that want to hire us. They're just like, we just want to do ads. I won't work with you. You're going to waste your money because there's a time frame. I'm going to just guarantee the ads will get shut down for some random reason. Okay. It just does. Google changes all this thing. That's why you have to hire somebody that knows that world and is in that world daily, because the only time you talk to somebody in Google is if you've paid hundreds of dollars, like you're paying a lot of money to be on that platform, and then they'll get on the phone with you. But if you're brand new and you get your ad shut down, you won't ever get a hold of anybody. So that's why you want those two beasts together, organic first. And then the cool thing with organic is I already have data to go and say, hey, all of these people watch my videos. Go take this ad back to those people and tell them that they can buy something from me. Most of the time, people are just paying for ads and saying, go find me customers that may like this. And that's why you spend so much more money on that, because you're paying Google to go find you customers, versus having customers and saying, Google, just follow up with them for me.
I hear you. Okay. So basically what I'm hearing there is that a lot of ad revenue, or a lot of the money spent on ads is not it's targeted, but it could be going to better sources, going back to the people that were looking at your product or something.
Yeah. So what I can do, so say for instance, you finally have a decent following, you have some views, right? I can take a YouTube ad and I go, hey, YouTube, go and target people that have watched 70% of my video. So now I'm not wasting my time. If someone watched 70% to 100% of my video, that tells me they're interested and they like my content. So now I can take a retargeting ad and I niched it down even smaller. So now I don't have to pay $10. I can pay 40 cents or 30 cents to get that video in front of them, because it's such a small, specific group of people. And my odds of them opting in and buying shoot way up.
Yeah, that sounds like some pretty powerful stuff. Very,
Yes.
yeah, that is powerful. And like, okay, so basically, you were mentioning this idea of having someone to do it for you, because you can get your ads potentially shut down, but it's valuable that to have like, were you saying that because, certain accounts, when you have experience and you have a reputation with Google, that they're willing to give you better service? Or
Correct.
okay, all right. And if you're just starting out with those ads, then you can come across issues that, if you have
You
someone,
will. I
you will.
guarantee you, you will. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, I'm still learning how to do the paid side of things. David, my business partner, is an OG gangster at it. He's a trial and error dude, and he's teaching me the ways. If you can learn Google Ads, that's a skill that will pay you for the rest of your life that everybody needs. Like, at the end of the day, you need more people, and ads are a great way to get more people, other than organic strategy as well. So you can learn that skill. It's definitely worth learning. But if you're going to learn that skill, you could go to Google Ads. They do a free training. From my experience, they leave a lot of stuff out. I don't know why they leave a lot of stuff out. So it's hard. It's a hard thing to learn, but once you do, it's definitely worth learning. So
Yeah. And just so people have an idea, you mentioned some of the things that do get Google ads shut down. Like, what are some of the biggest pitfalls? Like, what are some, warning signs to watch out for? Like, what, if you, how do you know that you're not going down the right path or whatever?
well, Google will shut your stuff down. There's
Just like that. Okay.
yeah, dude, you'll be making money, and then the next day you can't even log in, and you're just sitting there shooting appeals back and forth with a robot for like the next 30 days until they're like, finally, okay, you're actually right. You could be following all the rules right, and they'll still shut it down. So like, you got to have somebody that's either the best way, you don't have to, but the best way is to have somebody on your team that knows ads, and you hire them on, right? Or do that. Or you hire somebody like us that we handle a bunch of different ads for a bunch of different businesses, because when it comes to getting attention to get a lead, the system is the same regardless of what your product is.
Is that, can you give an example of like, of that? Because I know a lot of people are probably thinking right now, like, well, my product's different. I got, different needs. Like,
yeah. So for instance, so like if I wanted to sell art, or if I wanted to sell this Xbox controller, in order for me to get the attention to get this person to that Xbox or that art, is the same process. I'm going to make a YouTube video that shows them what it is, and then I'm going to tell them they can buy it from me in the link below.
yeah. Okay, cool. And
So, yeah.
So, and that's as an ad, as a YouTube video, or is it
Both? Yep.
both?
It's the
Okay.
same thing. Like an ad, I literally post a YouTube video and I take that URL link, and then I just put money behind it.
Nice, man. Yeah, dude, that's great. And okay, so, and you certainly, like, artists can do this too. So if they've got like a some piece of artwork that they do, and I know a lot of artists, there's a big space for teaching, and brushes. If you're into Photoshop, they sell like certain types of brushes and design tools. So that's pretty cool. And so you're saying that on YouTube, if you're doing that type of stuff, you can literally just run an ad and show how to use that thing, and then
then they can buy it.
People buy it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Another thing an artist could do that I just got with you talking there is teach art, right? So because what I sell is trainings. All the knowledge that we're doing here is in a video package that you can buy from me and learn on your own, right? What you could do as an artist is you could be drawing, you build your audience up. You can make your own series on how to paint, and you can have your own art school online, and people can pay you a couple $100 to buy your video series on how to draw a circle and how to do shades and how to work with paint. And they were going to buy it from you because they know, like, and follow you, and they just want to learn from you specifically. And now you have a whole nother business making you a couple extra $100,000 a year by just doing your own art school online, and people can buy your artwork from you.
Yeah, that's some great stuff. And like, I totally appreciate you sharing these things, because you really help to, escalate from, the tears from everybody, tears as in TIERS, not tears like crying tears, but like, everybody who's from starting out and just thinking, oh, well, what do I do? Just make 365 videos, to this next level of, if you're growing your business, do some ads, and then, starting an entire business, an entire, art school. So, I mean, even thinking bigger than that, I mean, how do you, what would be like the next step after that? Say someone's like, I know like it might be beyond the scope of this conversation, but someone starts a school and then like, do they
The
start an
next
enterprise?
No, the next thing they would do is start an affiliate program. So you would start an affiliate program to where if you're a student and you want to promote my school, I will pay you a percentage from everybody you send to me that buys this program. And now you'll have a little army of people that start selling your stuff for you that like your stuff. And that's actually where I started, was in the affiliate. I was selling other people's stuff for a long time, making commissions that way, doing YouTube videos and stuff like that. Just talking about other people's education programs, Ty Lopez programs, Grant Cardone programs, Legendary Marketer was the first one. These are just programs that I promoted as a seller because I liked what they did. So if you're on the other end and you have an art school, you can make that into an affiliate program where you sell it for $100. And if someone else promoted it on their YouTube channel and they sold it, you would give them $50 of that 100 or something. And so now you're making money without passive, even more passive money from other students that promote your stuff.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So it's almost like having your own sales force or your own marketing force. And what's like the not the what's it called, overhead, right? Like obviously, the overhead, like the cost of like maintaining things. I mean, that's relatively low. So what sort of expenses like go into something like that? I mean,
so if you can build it yourself, it's almost free. Because software you have to buy to host your videos. Like let's go to the art school. I like that idea the best. Because I mean, other than an artist buying their paint and stuff like that, which you can probably write off as tax write-offs and stuff. So almost doesn't cost you anything almost. The school itself, all you need is the software. So you can get like Kajabi or Teachable that we use. We probably pay $100 a month at most for that software that's going to host your video. So people, when they buy it, they can't just like copy that video and then go play it somewhere else. You get the copyrights and all that stuff. So people can't just, screen record it and then post it on YouTube or something. There's legal allegations you can take because it's saved, right? So that's going to be a couple $100. After that, the rest is free. It's making videos. The only time you'll have overhead is once you start doing paid advertising.
and it sounds like the paid advertising is even the next step after you've gotten that affiliate system down. You continue to do paid advertising. So that's some interesting stuff. And okay, so you've gotten us to some amazing ideas here, from this just starting to this idea, if you become successful enough to start your own school and do all of that.
You can start your own school before you even post a video if you wanted to.
Really?
And yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, like if you're like an art teacher, you should be making more money from your YouTube channel than your art class.
And you mean like art class as in like where they teach at a school, or do you mean like the actual school that they created?
Well, so say I'm an art teacher at high school. If I go make a video series and I just record myself on Zoom showing exactly what I would teach my students in school and then just charge $97 for them to buy it from me, I can make more money doing that than teaching full time.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. And I think since you've been in the space for a while, and I have like a grasp of it, that sounds realistic. But for someone who's been a teacher for like 8 years or whatever, that almost sounds like impossible. Like $97, like how do I, like, putting that all together? Are there things that help to make that easier? Like, do they have to like build everything from like scratch, or like
they could pay me and I'll build it for
them? Well, hey, there you go. Awesome. Yeah. Well, hey, everybody. So if you're an artist and you want to build a school, or you're a teacher, an art teacher, and you want to expand on some ideas and get more income, I mean, this is an amazing resource for you, Mr. Colton Havens. And with that said, I mean, we've gotten some amazing ideas brewing, and you've really helped to share some of the strategies and tips. I mean, are there any secrets that that have crossed your mind over this podcast that you're willing to share, or did you really give it?
That's pretty much it. Get out of your head and do it. Like, just get out of your head and do it. NFTs is going to be huge for your artists. That's going to be huge money maker for you guys. That's a whole nother thing. But put your stuff on the blockchain, pay the money, mint your artwork, and do that as you build your YouTube channel, because your audience, as they see this go, they could buy your very first art from you that you ever made on your YouTube channel in 5 years. And that art is going to be worth more in 5 years than the day that you make it. And especially if you put it on the blockchain and you make it an NFT and you can only sell 4 of them, you can sell that for hundreds of thousands of dollars, plus make money if someone else sells your artwork later down the road. You can still make money from that later.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing to have that, you know, just ongoing income, that ongoing royalties and all that. And it just sounds like you just got, you know, so many great strategies for building like a perpetual income.
Yeah, so
I know. Yeah.
For instance, like if you start a YouTube channel, you can get paid from YouTube, which is pennies, but you still get paid. You can get paid for selling your artwork itself, which could be a lot of money. Then you can get paid from a art school that you design, teaching people how to draw. Then you can get paid from affiliates that are selling your school, because they're going to sell it for you there too, right? So you can get paid 4 different ways off of one single YouTube video with that concept. And then you have your NFT on top of that. And your NFT has like 6 other ways to make money off of it itself. So you got at least 5 ways to make money off of YouTube as an artist with one single YouTube video.
Hey, that's awesome. I feel like this is like a master class on, you know, becoming a digital artist. So, you know, totally. Thanks so much for sharing these amazing strategies, these amazing tips. And like, you know, there's so much going on out there. It could be so overwhelming with like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, which one do I use, and TikTok. And like, you know, these strategies that you've shared are so specific, you know, YouTube videos, 365, and do that. And, you know, I like what you said about planning, thinking 5 years ahead, because I think so many times we can get stuck in thinking, oh, well, is this video gonna make me viral tomorrow, right?
Yep.
And while it might be possible, which is something that you were saying, you know, at some level, think 5 years ahead, not just, you know, not just right now, not just tomorrow, but
Right.
you know, plan. People are gonna want to see the work that you're creating.
Correct.
So
yeah, just do it. Just make the damn video already.
Yeah, and even talking on that topic. I mean, I sometimes go to YouTube channels like of the really successful ones, and I go back to look for their very first videos, just see what they were doing, get some ideas, you know, and that's definitely stuff to value.
Yeah, and just do it, man. Just do it already, because if you don't, you're gonna be where you are now. And do you want to be where you are today in 2 years? Most people will say no. So why haven't you made a video? And they're going to come up with all the other reasons. And I go, okay, if all those reasons matter in 2 years, okay, do you think are those reasons good enough to be in the same place in 2 years? 90% of us will say no, because they're all superficial, just garbage that we have in our head. Like I do this for a full-time living, and I still can't get my own family to make a YouTube channel. Don't know why. They just don't. So
yeah, it's interesting. And you know, sometimes the people closest to us, like it's tough to really get them to do something. And you know, I guess at some level, I mean, just out of curiosity, I mean, family aside, like, do you think most people feel that they just don't have the ability, or like they're afraid of the technical skill, or you know, they just are comfortable?
They don't really want to grow. They just want to complain and they want to be around other complainers that validate their complaints. That what they're doing is that this is what they want, Emmett. They want to go, man, YouTube would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice to be making that kind of money? And then they want the person next to them be like, yeah, dude, that would be nice. Too bad we can't do that. And they're like, yeah, we can't. And then they both sit there and stay losers. What they don't want is someone like me, where I'm like, they're like, dude, that'd be nice, dude. You're lucky you making a YouTube channel. I go, yeah, why haven't you started one yet? They're going, oh, there's no way I could make a YouTube channel. I'm like, why not? And they're like, well, who would want to buy from me? Well, you don't know that yet because you haven't made any videos. You probably could make a lot of money. And they go, I don't know, man. That's why you haven't made any money. That's why you haven't made any videos, is because of that attitude. And it's really an attitude shift. That's it. That's all it takes.
Yeah, and that's, you know, I really appreciate that, because you know, I'm thinking like in my head, this conversation that you literally just shared is literally conversations that, I've had, and I'm sure a lot of people have, not even with their friends, but like by themselves. Like, yeah, you should make a YouTube video. No, don't do it because it's not going to work. No, dude, just put out some videos. And then, a week later, nothing happens. Like it's just all this stuff. So, this is a big topic here. And I don't know if you have time for this, but, you brought up this topic of attitude and this whole arena of like mindset and getting into YouTube and all that. I think that's something that you also have worked with people on as well. So I mean, in wrapping up this conversation, this podcast, I know you jumped in last minute, so I appreciate that. But what is the value of tackling these conversations? How do you do it? Like, do you just tell your mind to shut up, or is it just like, what strategies would you help people with?
Read books. I mean, this is Think and Grow Rich. Read The Power of Positive Thinking. Start paying for good information. Start paying for good information. If someone promises you that they can give you your dreams, give them the money, because 9 times out of 10 they actually can. You'll get that 1% that's a scam. You'll get that, not going to say it's not out there, but 90% of the people that tell you that you can reach your dreams and get what you want actually can do that for you. And you just start thinking of, you're like, that's $200. And here's what people say. They're like, that's $200. Oh no, what if it doesn't work and I can't pay my phone bill? Then you just late 1 month on your phone bill. And what if it can? Then you can turn that $200 into $100,000 a year. What if that happens? That's more likely going to happen if you take action.
Yeah. And I loved how you had Think and Grow Rich right next to your, right next to you. That's awesome, man. And like, just what you were saying, this whole idea of like, so many people think, and of course, this is something that, I think about too, is, we think about what we're going to lose, but, rarely do we really spend enough time to realize the opportunities that we can gain from, just simple action. So,
yeah. I got one point on that, because everybody's so scared about what they're going to lose. Okay. Well, the honest truth, this is how I motivate myself. The honest truth is you will die. You will die. So if you died today, right now, after this, or in 2 or 3 minutes, ask yourself this: if I died today, would I be happy with what I did? 90% of people will say no. So what do you need to do to where that answer is yes? That answer is take risks on the things you're scared most of. Do the things you're scared most of. So that way, when you ask yourself, if I die today, would I be satisfied with what I've done? Did I give it 100% of what I could have done to make this the best life I possibly could? Because you only get one of these. From what we know, you only get this one. Okay. The conversation you and I are having, the conversations that we're going to have with our loved ones, we don't know if that will be our last. And if it is, did I give it everything I could to make my life the best life I could live? If the answer is anything less than yes, that means you let fear take over. You let fear run your life. And that's why you feel like you have no control. If you want to get in control, start doing the things that scare you the most because they scare you. If you get scared, that's why I need to do it. For instance, like I'm skiing and I do like extreme sports, like some BMX and stuff. And it's really that first time going over the jump. And once I go over the jump the first time, after that, I can do this. And then you do it. So you need to take that action of when you're scared, that's what you need to do. If you go to something you're like not scared about, get the hell away from that, because it's not going to help you any.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Wonderful, man. Thank you for that final like speech. I felt like I was like, you mentioned wrestling, and I could just imagine like being in a wrestling room and just like, you like nailing out that motivational talk right there. So that's great, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Colton, thank you again for doing this episode of the podcast. I'm glad
You
we were
bet.
able to expand on even some of the ideas from last time and to really be able to nail in some of these strategies and these ideas for any artist to really start building a business on YouTube, growing on
Yep.
YouTube, whatever it is that they dream of. So, with that said, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for jumping in. And Colton, thank you for being here.
Yes. Thank you for having me, bro.
Have a nice day, everybody.